Classic or traditional technique is used on single-track trails. The skis glide in parallel down the tracks, and a special wax is used under the middle, cambered section of the ski to grip the snow when required. A different glide wax on the tips and tails of the skis allows the skis to glide under the weight of the skier. We've chosen to begin classical skiing with double poling. Double poling is one of the fundamental upper body movements. It is not only a classic technique because it is used in all skating techniques. Propulsion is achieved by applying your weight onto the poles and not by straining your triceps. By itself, double poling is used on flats and slight hills. Some World Loppet Cup races have been won using this technique exclusively. The components or phases within double poling are the planting of the poles, the pull, the follow-through, the glide, and the recovery. Remember, double poling is pulling, not pushing. Begin at the ready upright position with a slight lean forward from the hip. Arms are shoulder width apart and are bent 90 to 120 degrees at the elbow. The poles are near vertical. The hands remain relaxed on the pole grip. Movement is initiated from the hips with the force of the abdominals, which bring the poles down to the snow just ahead of the ski bindings. Your body position is far more important than the placing of your poles. The arms and shoulder joints remain locked through the first phase of the motion. Apply your body weight onto the poles, using first your stomach, then back muscles to drive the pulling motion. Rotate forward and down at the midsection, keeping your legs nearly straight. All the time, respect the angle of your arms. You should feel as though your lats are being stretched as you hang onto the poles. The abdominal muscles contract, and the skier feels the power come from the midsection and radiate from the larger muscles in the upper body to the shoulders and arms. Keeping the hand grip relaxed will transfer the power from the core to the poles. The poles take the most direct and simple line along the body, and in a full double pole will end up passing beside the knees. Drive down and back with your elbows by rotating at the shoulder only when your torso has completed the majority of the work. The poles go straight back, parallel to the skis. Your back may be parallel to the ground. Finish the movement by extending and relaxing the arms, hands, and the fingers. The duration of the glide and the tempo will vary with the snow conditions. The timing is such that the upper body finishes its downward arc just as the arms have extended. The body starts and finishes one cycle of movement from one position to another as one unit. All motion originates from the center and progresses outwards from big joints to smaller joints, starting with big muscles and finishing with smaller ones. All upper body movement in skiing follows this rule. The poling action is a pull, not a push. To recover, you reverse the order of the movements. First, the hips drive forward and the body begins to extend upright to make room for the hips. The arms return to the 90-degree position and the elbows drive forward directly with little or no swing. Diagonal stride is the only technique unique to classic technique and is used on the greatest variety of single-track terrain. At the early stages, the basic mechanics can look a lot like walking with a glide aided by poles. The diagonal stride technique is easy to do poorly. Power efficiency and glide come only with practice. The weight transfer involves a push from one ski onto the other. The motion is supported by opposite arm poling. This poling action is similar to double poling, except the arms work individually and alternately with the legs. The components of the diagonal stride are the kick, the weight shift, the glide, and the leg recovery. The kick referred to in diagonal stride is not a kick in the strict sense of the word. In skiing, you want to momentarily compress your ski onto the snow so that you get sufficient grip to pull back with your ski and move your body forward of that position. You will want the snow to remain on the ground and your body to glide over it. Good grip under a properly cambered ski in the kick zone is essential to achieve traction. The wax's job is to adhere to the snow for a moment in time, stopping long enough to use it as a platform to be able to transfer the weight forward onto the other ski. The ski's camber is compressed by bending the hip, the knee and the ankle and pushing off. The skier feels the weight and compression on the heel and rolls to the ball of the foot during the kick. The maximum compression occurs when the ski passes underneath your hips. By the time the weight is on the ball of the foot, the kick is over. Pushing off the toes is often too late and results in backslip. The kick and poling actions occur together. It's important to use as much upper body as possible. Do not rely on the arms to do the work. The arms travel front to back and return by the most direct means. A skier must commit their body weight from the pushing ski to the glide ski. A fully weighted kick will provide the power for a good weight transfer. The position of the center of gravity plays an important role. The hips move forward onto the glide ski. As the hips align over the glide ski, they rotate towards the trajectory of the glide ski. The power comes from the hips and assures full weight transfer. The leg now trailing can extend when the weight shift onto the new glide leg has taken place. While one leg is gliding and carrying all the body weight, the other leg extends back and relaxes. The trailing leg recovers forward at the moment that the front glide leg begins to compress down onto the snow and pull back. The step double pole fills in the gap between double poling and diagonal stride. In step double pole, a skier can extend their reach past that which they could get in a simple double pole technique because they are counterbalanced by their extended trailing leg. A skier can use step double pole as a change from double poling or to preserve momentum into a steeper hill. Step double pole can also substitute for a diagonal stride on many hills. It is best to practice both diagonal stride and double poling before trying to coordinate with the movements of step double pole. A quick way to learn the timing of this technique is to start with a double pole. At the end of the recovery phase, perform a kick as the poles and arms are extended forward in preparation for the double pole plant. Meanwhile, the other non-kicking leg extends to the back in a relaxed position. The legs come back together to prepare for the next kick during the double pole pull. The kick and pull recovery occur in one motion. Variations in terrain and snow conditions dictate your choice of technique. Change tempo and techniques to match the resistance you feel under your ski. Diagonal stride works in the majority of single-track conditions. In fast conditions, double pole. As the resistance increases, transfer to step double pole and then to diagonal stride. As the hill gets steeper, the compression and push phase in diagonal stride becomes more aggressive and shortened. Emphasis is given to higher tempo and stepping up the hill. As the hill becomes more steep, the diagonal stride is widened and the skis are edged enough to prevent backslip. Keep the weight mostly on the heels. At a certain point, there is no more glide left in the technique and it's all about climbing. One step at a time. The power in the herringbone comes mostly from the legs. The poles assist the motion. The baskets are placed beside and behind the bindings. The tempo for herringbone can vary from a walk to a run.